Hey guys, we just finished shooting our latest episode with Vignesh, who talks about his career that started in Chennai. He went to Brussels in Belgium after that and is now in Bangalore building a deepfake startup. He also talks about his love life, a little bit about artificial intelligence and machine learning. It's an exciting episode. I think you'll like it. We're building an exciting platform at Hushl. Check us out at www.hushl.in.
An Olympiad exam or something like that. I asked her, should I prepare for it? She told me you shouldn't prepare for it. It's to naturally figure out what you're good at.
The best piece of feedback we got on our landing page was actually from Vignesh's wife.
So she has 3 jobs now.
I really
Such a nerd.
I was like, I don't have to take exams anymore. Hey.
Hi, Vignesh.
Hey. Hi, Ali.
What's up?
I went for a long run this morning.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
How long?
Okay, it's 5K. So, okay.
Nice.
Not that long.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm doing good this morning. Yeah.
Lovely, yeah. No, like excited to have you. We've known each other for some time now.
Yeah.
It's been great to know you. And then you haven't met Vignesh, so this is the first time you're actually sitting down with him and speaking to
Yeah,
him.
super excited. In the interview, Tamil pannalama ya English?
இது தமிழ்ல பண்ணலாம் ஆனா maybe we do English and then we can do a final bit in Tamil maybe.
No,
Yeah.
my deep fake and
Yeah. We can't wait to
Can't wait to hear about the deep fake.
yeah.
why don't we get started with Vignesh, just walk us through maybe in about a minute.
Yeah.
Just your career.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to start at maybe undergrad or a little bit before and just walk us through.
Okay. So I was born and brought up in Chennai, Maharishi Vidya Mandir. So Nandan told me he went to
Yeah, I did.
SBOA.
I actually did a debate at MVM at once, and I won actually.
Wow.
So I have fond memories of that school.
So yeah, and then I studied at SSN. I studied a bachelor's in biomedical engineering.
Tell us about SSN. SSN is
SSN is
SSN is like the Ramaya of Chennai,
got it.
or the DTU of Delhi, or what's the equivalent of Mumbai? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe VJTI or UDCT, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. No, awesome. So
yeah. So
okay.
I went there. I studied biomedical engineering.
Yeah.
For 4 years, and then I went to Belgium. And the reason is probably not that funny. My wife would be mad. I followed her. So she went to Belgium, so I followed her. And then I studied my master's in biomedical engineering there for a year. I dropped, and then I switched to master's in AI, artificial intelligence. I studied it, I graduated, and then I started working as a data scientist for a vertical search engine.
Okay.
In Belgium.
Yeah, in Belgium, in Brussels, the heart of Europe. And then after 5 years, and the acquisition of the company, I was like, okay, now I want to build my own. So I'm here in Bangalore.
Trying to start up.
Yeah.
Like everybody in Bangalore. Yeah. One thing I kind of really want to ask you is about the time before you chose biomedical engineering. And we've spoken a little bit about it, where I know there's a great story there, but I think you went to a career counselor. Tell us about that story.
Yeah. Actually, it's a little bit weird because I was about to study commerce. In 12th grade, you could choose either between science or commerce. I was about to study commerce, but I really liked my 10th standard physics teacher. He was like a superstar. And I thought, okay, let me go and study physics.
What's his name? Name him. Come on.
His name is Paul Pondian.
Okay.
So I really liked him. And then I started studying science. I chose that. I was pretty good at school. But I wasn't very sure whether I should pursue science as a career or what. Therefore, I decided, okay, maybe let me, immediately after finishing my exams, I went to a psychologist. So I told her like, look, I wanna pursue something else, but I'm not sure.
Sure, which one?
Yeah, which one? Therefore, she was like, okay, well, let's take you to a career counselor, career guidance counselor. Is that what they're called as? Yeah. So I spoke to her, and then I had a test. I think it was like a 2 or 3 hour written test.
That's long, huh?
Yeah. So
Have you been to a counselor before?
No, but I've explored that space for a while and looked at sort of just.
But this was in 2010, so maybe things have changed right now.
They're much shorter now from
They're
what
much
I can
shorter?
tell, but like a 2-3 hour test sounds very comprehensive. Tell us more. Okay, so
Yeah. So it was like an Olympiad exam or something like that. I asked her, should I prepare for it? She told me you shouldn't prepare for it. It's to naturally figure out what you're good at. Then I took the test. After 2 or 3 days, she invited me and my father. We were in a room, and then she told me, like, what do you want to do? I said, I just had my 12th exam results coming out. I scored really good. So I had more than 95%. Then I was like, okay, maybe I'm ready for engineering right now. And then she said, okay, buddy, I have a news for you. Your career guidance results, the test results show that, yeah, you're exceptionally good at science. No, you're good at science, but you're not exceptionally good at it. You're exceptionally good at something else. So maybe you should try something like mass communication or business administration. And then she recommended me to go to MIT, Manipal. That was her choice. And then she recommended me a couple of universities in Delhi. That is what she recommended me.
and then you went to SSN to do biomedical engineering. So tell us what happens in that gap. So how do you process this information? And
so I listened to her, and I felt it was the right choice as well. Therefore, I told my parents, okay, this is what I want to do in my life. And fortunately, they had a course in Loyola, in Chennai itself. In the Loyola College, they had something with communication. I think it was visual communication or something like that. And then I was also interested in political science. So I had an admit at Loyola for visual communication, and then political science at Madras Christian College.
I think we need to summarize here. There's a biomedical at SSN. There's political science at Madras Christian College. There's a visual communication at Loyola.
Yeah.
There is what am I missing?
That's
there is the counselor recommended MIT.
A lot of things. And then I'm feeling.
So how did SSN eventually win?
How did SSN eventually win? It was simple. The society around me told me that you're stupid to choose something like Viscom or something, because kids who score less grades choose it. You are really smart. You should choose a smart.
I understand that, because I actually was in Chennai till the 12th grade, and for someone who gets 95%, an SSN is probably the most safe and the most ambitious option for.
Exactly. Anna University used to release rankings back then. I don't know if they still do it, but SSN was ranked number 1 that particular year. Therefore, it was like, okay, I did not have to fight the society. I was like, okay, let me just go and do that. So I pursued it for 4 years. I graduated my bachelor's in biomedical.
Did you enjoy it?
I did everything other than biomedical. I was programming all the time. I was building electronics. My master thesis was also on signal processing, electronics, and programming. My bachelor thesis was on that. So I was very bad at biochemistry or anything related to bio. I was very bad at it. But my girlfriend used to help me back. Like my current wife, my girlfriend back then, she used to help me back then. So I used to pass those courses, but I compensated the grades with my ability in programming or something like that.
I've got a question maybe for the both of you, which is one, I think Vignesh that line's sort of worked out for you, right? You're really good at what you do now.
Yeah.
You built an algorithm that got your company, an acquisition offer that eventually went through. You're, clearly really good at what you do in the STEM field.
Yeah.
But I know that you also sort of have this passion for, I think, political science. You've sort of considered it. So you had this sort of fork in the road and you went against what you wanted to do and sort of went ahead with what society asked you to do.
Yeah.
But it has eventually worked out for you. So how do you reflect on that? Would you go back and change things? Would you do what you wanted to do, what you were good at? Or, has following the society's society's path, do you see that as something that was favorable and that was the right decision?
Okay. I mean, the truth is we wouldn't know what I would have achieved if I would have pursued my innate strengths. So we couldn't dispute that for sure. But one thing I can tell you for sure is that right now, I'm not an effective communicator. I was a very good communicator.
In school?
In school. As well as in college, yeah, in SSN, I was really, really good at it. But once you pursue, once you distance yourself from your own innate strengths, and once you try to force yourself into something else, probably something could work. Fortunately, in my case, yes, something else worked out for me. But right now, I'm not a confident speaker. I think I have lost all the core abilities which I was born with, probably.
If you could go back in time and you are, right now, this version of you is speaking to 18-year-old Vignesh, what are 2 lines that you would tell him?
Yeah, I would definitely say, decide for yourself. Yeah, listen to others, respect others, respect others' opinions, but you have to be your own decision maker.
But you actually did well for yourself. I mean, to go back to, you did this. You went to Brussels.
Okay.
You went to Belgium, and then I read in one of your things that you failed your sort of first semester.
Yeah.
Tell us about going abroad.
Yeah.
And then failing and then how did you sort of come out of that, and what were your sort of learnings there?
Yeah, Nandan. So what happened was I went to Belgium. I went to a very good university in Belgium. It's called KU Leuven. It's Catholic University Leuven. It's one of the best universities in Europe.
It's the SSN of Chennai. It's the DTU of Delhi. It's the
SSN of Belgium.
Yeah, it's the SSN of Belgium. Shiv Nadar would be really proud. Or Jesus Christ would be really proud. Yeah, it's both the ways. Anyways, so I went to KU Leuven. I studied there I pursued masters in biomedical engineering again. I studied it for 6 months, and then I failed in all the courses in my first semester. No, I think I passed in one. I passed in one of the courses, but out of 6 courses, I failed in 5.
And was that preparation or aptitude?
I think aptitude. Yeah, preparation. No, I really worked hard, and especially when you have mortgaged your home and you have gone abroad to study, you are pretty sincere. Yeah, I really tried hard. I think I did not have intellect for biomedical engineering. So at least at SSN, the core advantage was biology was a small component of the entire coursework. So I would say 10 to 15% of the coursework was biology. Right, but electronics and programming had a very important,
And that was the opposite when you went to Belgium?
Yeah, exactly. So that is one thing that I would tell people, please go through your syllabus before choosing your masters. Make sure that you really like what you see there. Don't assume that, I will figure. I did go through, so I applied to Georgia Tech, I applied to Leuven, I applied to a few other universities. But KU Leuven was the best offer that I had in my hand back then. And also the tuition fee was really low. It was 600 euros per year, which is way lesser than what I
Public
paid.
Universities.
Yeah, which is way lesser than what I paid in SSN as well. Then I was like, okay, let me pursue it. But what happened was I failed in 5 courses. I just passed in one of the courses. And then I went to the program director. And then I told him, look, I'm going to drop out. He was like, wow, you just tried, you just made a single attempt, but you want to give up already. I was like, yeah, I'm really bad at it. I was never good at, now, even though I passed, I did well in SSN. I'm not good at biomedical engineering, especially the syllabus that is taught in the courses offered in KLU1. So Master in Biomedical Engineering at KLU1 has very different courses in comparison to one at Georgia Tech. So
Right.
although the Masters has the same name, you have to be really careful about it. Therefore, I was like, okay, I told him, no, this is not something that will work out for me. He was like, okay, can you give one more try? Can you try one more semester? I said, okay, I have already paid the fees for 60 credits. So I have 30 more credits left over. I can choose it. And then I asked him, can you do me a favor? Can you let me choose 6 different courses in 6 different programs this particular semester? He was like, why do you want to do that? And then I said, look, I'm not really sure about what am I good at. That was a moment when I realized I may really like something, but I could be very bad at it as well. Yeah.
Okay, so this connects back to the 18-year-old Vignesh.
Exactly. Therefore, that is the moment I realized it. So I told him, so I'm going to audit 6 different courses and I'm going to see what is going to happen. He was like, okay, well, this is not usual, but I'll give you an exemption. You can try and go ahead doing that. So I audited 6 different courses and then I failed in 4. Perfect. And then I passed in 2 of the courses. One was psychology and the other one was machine learning. Luckily, in machine learning, I was the top of the class. So out of 120 kids or something, I was the top of the class. So a kid who fails in almost all the courses just scored the top of the class in one of the courses. That was fantastic. And that is the moment I decided I'm going to do machine learning forever. And yeah, so I was lucky in finding out that one particular thing.
So I think our podcast is called Switch,
Yeah.
which is trying to identify when did people switch. Essentially, now it's interesting. A lot of people think about, have a timeline for this, when I got this job. But I think mentally there is some space that happens before or after where there's something just moves in your head, right? And you're just like, it's time to switch. I guess for you, that moment was...
Yeah, that was the moment when the switch happened. Yeah, it was remarkable because the admissions had already closed for Master in Artificial Intelligence 3 months earlier. So the coursework the program was about to start in 2 days. I went to the program director of Master in Artificial Intelligence and I convinced him that, look, I failed in almost everything. This is the only course in which I really did very well. So I want to pursue this as my master's. So I don't know, first he said no, and then for some reason after a couple of days when the program actually started, he wrote me an email saying, I'll give you a chance. So I'm really grateful to him as well. But now things have worked out. That's fine. And I'm really happy.
Awesome.
Which brings me to, what do you do now?
What do I do now?
And I know it's interesting, but I don't think I understand it at all. But curious to know.
Okay, so I'm building my own startup. One of the regions that I'm focusing on is deep fakes. So it's like I can record Adi's voice for like, let's say 20 minutes. And I can make a machine speak like Adi. Adi may not trust that. But yeah.
But I might fall for it. Huh?
Yeah, you may fall for it. And also, I'm also working on something called lip sync. So when you watch dubbed movies, the audio is very... you have dubbed audio, but the lip is not synced, right? And it's a little bit odd. So the technology that I used to develop deepfake for audio, I'm now using it for deepfake for video. So I can change your lips.
Wow.
Can can you use this podcast as data and convert it at some point to Tamil?
Put Surya's voice on me. You want Ajit or Vijay? No, Vijay for me, and add I am waiting.
I'm waiting. Yeah.
I'll take Ajit then, right? So then that way we have.
Can I take Superstar?
You can take.
Yeah, I'll take Superstar. Okay. Always the best. Yeah.
Got it.
That's my story.
That's your story.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Maybe final question before we do the rapid fire. I think, and this is because I've seen you for a while, and even for this podcast, I think the story is we've done a few episodes and we've asked people to send us a bit of a write-up beforehand. Easily the most comprehensive write-up has come from Vignesh, where he's broken down, his entire career for us. There's like parts where, he's highlighted the interesting parts, and he said, this is the effect that society has on you, and this is the effect of the influencer. You're clearly really well prepared. Where did that come from? Where did you pick that up?
Okay. It's because I'm a data scientist, right? I studied machine learning and I work in machine learning. How machine learning works is constantly there is a feedback going into the system. The system gets updated over and over again. That's how artificial intelligence is becoming better day by day. I treat my life as we are all in a machine learning environment. We are all machines trying to update your own life. So I constantly look back, and then there is a feedback going inside me, and my brain, the neural network inside my brain actually processes it. And then I try to see, why did I make certain decisions this way? Why did I make those decisions that way? Yeah, maybe reading Daniel Kahneman, like the Thinking Fast and Slow, or Noise from him could also help people to understand about how the society influences you, how you make the decisions that you make, or how you believe that you made those decisions by yourself, but actually there could be multiple other factors. I think about all those things.
Wow. There's an entire podcast just for this question.
That's true.
Yeah.
Got it. No, that's fascinating, man. All right, we're on to the rapid fire now.
Vignesh, are you excited or are you nervous?
Nervous. Is this the first question of rapid fire?
Yeah, you want to go first?
No, go for it.
Okay. You can either have a great career in data science or an average career in visual communication. What would you pick?
Of course, great career in data science.
Okay, cool.
Actually, the question should have been great career in
visual
communication and average career in data science.
Let's flip it. So you could have a great career in visual communication or an average career in data science.
Average career in data science.
Wow. Cool, man.
Okay. So this is not so much a rapid fire question, but one of the things that came out from your from the earlier conversation was the role your girlfriend played in supporting you during college, and then later on your wife, the same when she became your wife, like when you moved to Belgium.
Yeah.
What has been her most important contribution in your professional life?
She's everything. She's like really, really great. She even to build my own startup right now, right? She does more VC research for me and finding me the good accelerators, good VCs, everything. Like she's everything. I always make fun of her. She has two jobs. The first job is doing her own job, and then to do my job.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Quick plug for your wife, because one of the things that she did, and I don't think you know this, is when we built our website, I sent it to Vignesh for feedback. And the best piece of feedback we got on our landing page was actually from Vignesh's wife.
So she has 3 jobs now.
Oh, well. Okay. Next one. What was your happiest moment as a kid?
As a kid? I think one of the happiest moments was when I got my board exam results. I really
Such a nerd.
I was like, I don't have to take exams anymore.
Oh, that way.
Yeah, but I also scored very well, right? So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm not that bad a student.
Do you have a visual of it? Is there a
Yeah.
what do you see?
So I was okay. I was working as a spoken English teacher. So so during my annual holidays, like after I finished my board exam, I was working as a spoken English teacher, and the class had like 40 students, ranging from I don't know like 15-year-old kids to 55-year-old people. And there were a couple of my classmates sitting in the class to whom I was speaking. I was teaching them English, and so I wanted to make sure I scored at least
More than them in English.
yeah. Yeah, eventually I did, so it was okay. Yeah.
Okay. If you could replace your voice
Yeah.
with anyone in the world with a deep fake, right?
Yeah.
Who would you pick? I'll ask you also this question. So you go. Maybe I can go first. Mine's Morgan Freeman. Yours?
I do Obama.
Obama?
Yeah.
Okay. What's yours?
Now, I would definitely choose not to replace it with anyone. Yeah, I would not. I want to keep my own voice.
But if you had to, for
Yeah, you have
fun's
to.
sake, and at gunpoint,
You know this guy, Guy Raz?
Yeah.
How I built this.
Yeah.
He's a radio podcast host. He has an amazing voice. I really like his voice.
Right. Okay.
what is one thing you believed in your early 20s that you don't believe now?
And my beliefs have remained the same.
So all the feedback loops that have gone into
Yeah,
your machine learning brain.
okay, maybe one thing that I have. Okay, there is one thing that I have changed myself very well. Like maybe the strength of the belief actually increased a lot. I'll tell you what. Bias. The bias that we have when we look at someone or when we even speak to someone, the bias that we have in our brain about that particular person should be thrown away completely. That is something that I had. So, for instance, even right now, we may look at a Harvard grad or a Stanford grad and then like Harvard gaya tha, Stanford gaya tha. This bias that we have, right, it's actually meaningless. We should like, okay. And yeah, bias is something that I used to have, but not anymore. Maybe that is something that the belief of, that belief I'm done with. One last thing that I want to tell you right now, because you mentioned this was, okay, the career that I have had, like many people have appreciated me, that I have done really very well. I'm still very, very skeptical if I would have had the same response from people if I had done all those things sitting in Chennai. I think the bias that going to Brussels and studying at one of the biggest universities and helping a company get acquired from there has created a huge bias on people. I'm not really sure if I would have done exactly the same things if by staying in Chennai, or if I would have moved to Bangalore and done the same. I don't know if people would have responded to it the same way, but I'm really scared. It's unfair. But
Can you package that as a piece of advice that you would give a 20-year-old?
okay, okay, it's not an advice. I would tell you, have enough. Like the society needs some. The society is biased. I cannot go and change the whole society, or none of us can change the society. Therefore, gaining credibility, a small amount of credibility, by I don't know, doing something great, doing certain things that the society thinks great, and then having that as an entry ticket to your own dreams is very important.
Right. And then going out there and then smashing that bias if you can.
Exactly.
Once you have that privilege.
Exactly. Once you have
A conversation, we had something similar very yesterday.
Yeah. So the same way as how Adi went to Harvard, but now he is in Bangalore building a startup. He worked for Teach for India, right? He worked for Teach for India. He did everything. Doesn't matter. But the degree from Harvard helps. It satisfies the society. Okay. Adi is what Adi is. Or Vignesh is what Vignesh. He has a degree from Raavan. Okay. But now we are doing our own stuff. It makes the journey a little bit easier. It's unfair, but that's how, unfortunately, the world works in 2022. I'm pretty sure things are changing in 2030.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot, Vignesh. Great talking to you as always. Thanks for the inspiring beginning to Sunday. I don't know if...
Thanks, buddy.
I don't know if some of you... Before we actually began, I think one of the things Vignesh said is he told his parents that he was going on a podcast. And his dad asked, what is a podcast? He said, it's like radio. Huh?
Radio.
Then his mom had the most funny reaction. What did she say?
She said, is it like Mirchi or what? Radio Mirchi or what? I said, we are not that popular yet.
Yeah, we should have actually began like an RJ, maybe his mother would have been a little bit more impressed.
I think you've said enough impressive things in this podcast for his mother to be impressed regardless. Super. Thanks, Vignesh.
Thanks, Vignesh.
This was great having you.
Lovely. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.